Today on the table, I'm bringing you the CZ P07 Tactical. Well, it used to be called the Tactical, but now it's called Suppressor Ready, and the PT92. So what are we looking at here? Well, as far as specifications go, the 92, even though the P07 is suppressor ready, is still a longer firearm. The P07 is taller. It does also have suppressor height sights. Thickness, the 92 is definitely a fatter firearm. Weight, the 92 is also quite a bit heavier, about a quarter of a pound. Now when you purchase the 92, unfortunately this particular firearm's used, so I don't have the original box and everything it came with. But I believe this came with one extra magazine. I'll annotate in if I'm wrong. I actually did like an unboxing video of this, which I'll link right here if you want to see what it all comes with, and a cardboard box. The P07 is actually going to come with a very nice hard case. Very nice trigger lock. And it does also come with parts, so if you would like to, you can convert this over to a single action only. Changeable back straps. A second 17-round magazine, and cleaning utensils. Both firearms do have a 17-round capacity. The CZ actually uses a 15-round magazine, but then they do what I can only describe as an eBay modification, like this thing looks like total crap, to expand the capacity to 17 rounds. Your PT92 comes factory with a 17-round magazine. Both these are made by Mekgar. Yeah. The CZ one does seem like it's slightly higher quality, because you can get different quality Mekgar magazines. The finish just feels a little bit better. Your PT92 is a blued finish. But the good news is, with the PT92, you can buy military surplus magazines, do a little cut with your Dremel, and they'll work just fine. So you can get M92 mags, surplus, which are bomb, for your 92, with a slight modification on it. Not that big of a deal. Both do have accessory rails. I don't actually know what the finish is called on the P07, but it looks pretty good. On the 92, they claim this is a blued finished. Shit looks Parkerized to me, so, I mean, you be the judge of that. Sights with your PT92, your front sight is a part of your slide. So what you got is what you got to keep. Your back sight you can change out. But ideally, you'd want a front night sight, and then you can skip on the back if you want, or back night sights, but that usually doesn't work in reverse. Your P07 does have changeable sights. You can change these out. These are night sights. Unfortunately, someone dropped the ball on them, and they're the exact same color. That could be a problem, especially with suppressor height sights, because they're so tall that in a panic, you might accidentally get behind a back sight thinking it's your front sight, and then everything's all screwed up and you're totally missing. Controls. From your normal shooting position, the magazine's a little bit tough to hit, or the magazine release a little bit tough to hit, but it is doable. Slide release, not so much. Decocker, definitely hittable from your normal shooting position. Controls on the 92, mag release, I can't even come close to hitting this. I would most definitely modify it if I owned this gun. Now you're like, well, oh, who cares? You know, you just turn the firearm this way, and you're good to go. Unfortunately, it makes tactical reloads a real pain in the ass. So let's make up this make-believe scenario. A bunch of crazy ninjas come through my doorway. I take down 3 or 4 of them, and I'm not sure if there's still more ninjas coming, so I don't want to just take my gun off the target area. I want to keep my gun pointed right there. And I pull out my spare magazine, and I do a tactical reload, keeping my firearm and my eyes pointed where I think the threat might be. This way, let's say I'm like right here and one more crazy ninja comes, I can shoot him. Then the slide will be, or no, the slide would be forward. So I just pop in my new magazine, slingshot it real quick, and I never really leave the threat. Not possible with the 92. Unless, like, I turn like this and hit the button. Slide release. Kind of doable from your normal shooting position. Yeah, I would call it doable. Doable, but tough. Decocker, good to go. The sights. Because these are tall night sights, they will slow you down. Unless you shoot a lot of pistol, you probably won't notice it. But yeah, when you come out and you present the firearm, because they're taller, it's really easy for the front sight to hide behind the rear sight. Or everything gets screwed up, like you might come off a little bit crazy, and now you gotta tilt it up a little bit, find your sight. With practice, you can get pretty good at this. But if you put that same amount of practice in something with short, stubby sights, you will be faster with this firearm. It just works better. Like, your sights are right there. Even if it hides a little bit, I can almost always keep it. I gotta have my firearm turned like this to hide my front sight. With these suppressor height sights, my sight's hidden. Now I'm back, I can see my sight. My sight's hidden. Very little movement at all, and I can't see my front sight. Again, with these short stubby sights, I gotta have my firearm canted like this. I know you guys don't like it when I point guns at you, but just so you can see how far out of whack I gotta have my firearm pointed to hide the sight. So I can see my sight, I can see my sight, I can see my sight, now I can't. So my firearm's canted off like that. It's very easy to realize you have a problem and correct. Going down, right there I can't see my front sight. So my firearm's down like this. With my suppressor height sights, I can see my front sight, and now I can't. I can see my front sight, and now I can't. I can see my front sight, and now I can't. Very little movement off target at all. And you lose the ability to see your front sights. So like I said, they will slow you down. You'll be hunting for your front sight from time to time, and you will notice, say you run shot clock, you will notice your times are getting longer. So that is something you need to be aware of. Like I said, though, this is what you got on the PT92. These are not night sights. So that is something also you need to be aware of. Trigger brake. P.O 7. Single action, not too bad. Kind of a lot of creep. Your reset's right here. And then you got some take up, hit the wall, creep, creep, and then a snap. Double action. Very heavy, very long, not ideal. PT92. Not too bad. Your reset. Much shorter. Some take up, about this much. Your wall. There's a touch of creep in there, but it's maybe a third of what the P07 has. Double action. Oh, way lighter. It's lighter and it's predictable, but the actual break of it, it's still pretty similar. But without a doubt, the PT92 has a superior trigger over the P07. The overall look of the firearm, the PT92 looks great. This is an American classic. I mean, John McClane used this. Riggs used this. It's been in military service for like ever. It was a bunch of police use this. Now, when I say use this, I'm talking about the Beretta. But this is widely accepted as an acceptable cologne. So, that's up to you. I mean, if you're only talking about a Beretta, that's just fine. This is a sexy looking firearm. The CZ, on the other hand, this is not a sexy looking firearm. This is a bastard child of a PZ75. They were trying to use the name CZ out of the CZ75 to sell this pistol. Maybe you think about it differently. I don't like this at all. Slide serrations on the CZ, because this is a non-circumcised slide, they're very, very small. When I rack this, I always feel like I'm going to punch myself in the chest. I'm just not getting a good surface area grip. I'm not getting a good grip. In the front, because of how they have this milled, it's cut down like this, it's next to impossible to get a good grip on this. You can do it, but I mean, you really got to drive into there. What's probably going to happen is you're going to go to rack off the front and punch yourself in the nose. Not cool. The PT92, there's a lot of surface area. I can get a full grip on this, so even if my hands are covered in like commie blood or sweat or whatever, super easy. You can even go off the front, but be aware, this barrel is exposed. So if you shot a mag or two and you go to grab it from the front little grabbing area right there, you're going to burn your hand. It kind of sucks. So both of these pistols I would consider back racking only, and without a doubt the PT92 has the advantage. Now I have run an actual real Beretta. Unfortunately I didn't run this pistol. We were doing stovepipe drills, just basically throwing empty casings inside of our magazines. I was actually running a Glock, and my friend was running a Beretta. When I hit my stovepipe with the Glock, I'd just grab the slide, come to the rear, shake it, the casing would fall out, and then I would go back into action. For whatever reason, and I even tried running his Beretta, thinking maybe he was just doing something wrong. With the Beretta, the slide would close on the stovepipe, and it would get wedged in there. I don't know why this would happen, or what the deal was, but basically, to clear the stovepipe out of the Beretta, we had to drop the magazine, pull the slide to the rear, and go like that to get it out, and go back in. Because this has a similar design as a Glock, I believe clearing malfunctions would be easier with the P07. To disassemble the P07, you're going to notice a takedown mark right here, and a takedown mark right here. You need to align these. Then you need to push this pin through. So what we're going to do is align the marks. And then attempt to push this pin through. Come on. You Alright, so apparently the magazine's got to come out. So disregard a bunch of that video. Gonna pull that off. Alright, now what do I need to figure out? And then it comes off. You are looking at a captured spring. To disassemble the PT92, there's a button right here. So you're gonna eject the magazine. You're gonna push the button, flip this lever down, and slide it off. Reassembly. Oh, I forgot. This is a non-captured spring. You're going to slide it on. Lock your slide to the rear. Flip your lever. To reassemble the P07, you're going to put your slide on. And now you need to line everything up. You gotta get your takedown mark lined up. You gotta get your barrel into position. Where the did the piece go? Then you gotta take your extra piece. Boom. Nope, I screwed it up. What did I do wrong here? Alright, that time it looks good. Alright, we're gonna line up the mark again. Come on, you There we go. There! Assembly and disassembly. So, out of these two firearms, which one do I prefer? I have a cologne. Why do I keep saying cologne? Like cologne you spray on you. I have a clone of a very iconic firearm that's even a movie star. It's had ample history in America. It is the economy version. Or I have a non-circumcised bastard child of a CZ75. I believe the choice is obvious. To pick anything else would be damn near treasonous. Now, the CZ75 does come with a threaded barrel. So if you buy this and you're like, hey, I want to put a silencer on it, yeah, then the sights make sense, the threaded barrel makes sense, the whole platform makes a little bit more sense. Unfortunately, with the non-circumcised slide sealing up all the way down and all this opening in the back, you shoot this and you actually lubricate your firearms like you care about them, you're going to feel like you got hit in the face with a yogurt grenade. All that lubricant, all that back pressure, everything is going to blow you right in the face. This does not come with a threaded barrel. It doesn't come with suppressor height sights. If you wanted to put a silencer on this, it would be a job. But if you did, all this is open. Even the opening in the back by the hammer is exponentially smaller than the P07. So the actual blowback you're going to get in the face off of the PT92 isn't going to be that much. But again, like, this is going to require some huge modifications. Yes, there is a $69 split between these two firearms. This is $69 more. That's currently, I mean, prices always change. But I don't feel you can make this suppressor ready for $69. Even with that not being able to make the suppressor ready for that amount, just because of this firearm, the better trigger break, I could definitely put more accurate shots down faster, the ability to use military surplus magazines, the overall look of the firearm, the fact that it's been in just ridiculous amounts of movies, I would most definitely pick the PT92 over the non-circumcised CZ bastard child. Oh, and let's not forget, this isn't just a CZ75 bastard child that's not circumcised. This is also an economy version. The cheap of the cheap. And this is so much harder to take apart. The PT92, and for whatever reason I eat shit and I go into the mud, I could just rip this slide off, take my Mountain Dew and wash the mud out. Just kidding. I'd never clean a firearm with a Mountain Dew. Sierra Mist maybe, but not a Mountain Dew. I wouldn't waste it on that. The CZ75, I practically, myself, I mean, if you practice a bunch, maybe you could do it better. Could probably tear this, I'd probably be required a gunsmithing bench to tear this apart and clean it. So anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. If you'd like to help support the channel, you can always click on my Patreon, support me there. Or I do have affiliate links in the description down below. It's stuff you're already going to buy. It's just that you're linking to it off of my channel, so I get a cut for sending you there off of my channel. And again, don't forget to subscribe.